Now, if you listen to the Australian government, you'd believe that we don't like EVs here. We don't buy them. They ruin the weekend. They don't make sense in the outback. In the outback, only gasoline and diesel will work. But actually, that isn't true. In fact, Australians are embracing electric cars at record pace. In the month of January, an incredible new record was set here in Australia. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the channel. Great to see you. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for supporting myself. And also, GoFundMe with her GoFundMe campaign to pay for her stage 4 cancer treatment, which is kind of lots of experimental treatments going on where when there's an incurable cancer, they pretty much try anything. It's very expensive, but it gives her a much better chance. There's been quite a few other people who have gone through those processes that she's doing right now. By the way, it's going pretty well. She's still feeling pretty nauseous and vomiting a bit and those sorts of things, but definitely improving in terms of the pain inside of her body. That's awesome. So this sort of thing has worked quite a few times for other people in the past, and it's very, very interesting the way that they combine traditional therapies such as chemo with new therapies like immune therapies. So thank you so much for making that possible for me and for her. It's been an incredible blessing. Tesla have just set a new record here in Australia. This is the first time in the history that any electric car has been the #1 top selling passenger vehicle. Best selling passenger vehicle in January here in Australia was the Tesla Model 3. Now, the incredible thing is Australians don't like sedans. They don't buy them. We used to love them. Now we hate them. There's only one sedan in the top 20 best-selling cars in Australia, and there has been for several months. The Tesla Model 3. Maybe Australians don't hate EVs after all, right? So what has driven this enormous increase in sales here in Australia? Well, for one, more and more Australians are waking up. They're saying, why would I go and buy a gasoline-powered car when they're old? They're like buying an old Nokia phone when you can buy a new smartphone. Why would I do that? That's stupid. I just sold my BYD electric car, right? You guys know why. If you don't, I've got a video coming on that and on my review of that car. And the person who bought it, she said to me, why would I buy an old car? She has an Alfa, by the way, an Alfa Romeo. She said, why would I buy a new Alfa when it's just going to be worth peanuts in a few years? Well, there you go. She also said that she loves the experience of driving, and after she's bought it, she's very, very happy with it. So that's good to hear. Now, price cuts, which are pretty marginal here in Australia. We haven't seen the big price decreases that we've seen in many other countries around the world for Tesla vehicles because there's still a lot of demand for one, but also because they're pretty cheap as it is. However, that has helped, along with more supply, to increase the number of Model 3s being sold here in Australia, which is frankly astonishing to me. Here in Australia, 3,000 Model 3s were delivered to new homes in the month of January. That's a pretty good number for our small car market. This means the Model 3 was the best-selling passenger vehicle in the market. Number 3 overall, first and second were pickup trucks, the Ford Ranger, and the Toyota Hilux. Don't know why people buy the Hilux, but anyhow, the Ford Ranger and the Toyota Hilux were first and second. I don't think there's anything we can do to change that. Unless we got lots of Cybertrucks here. I'm sure a few people wouldn't mind one of those. However, it is the highest ever finish for an electric vehicle in the Australian car market, period. Number 3. So we're finally starting to really get somewhere. Now, Aussies love the Tesla Model Y. So why is it that the Tesla Model Y didn't finish, well, in this place? Why is it the Model Y wasn't the top selling passenger vehicle in Australia when it's the kind of vehicle people want? Well, the reality is there's enormous demand here for the Model Y. You can't get a Model Y now. Or in fact, you haven't been able to get a Model Y for a long time here in Australia. You've got to go on a long waiting list because, well, there's always been massive demand for the Model Y. They just can't ship enough of them here. Now, getting back to the Model 3. Because so many Tesla Model 3s were sold here in January, electric vehicle market share hit an incredible new record of nearly 6%, which sounds like nothing in comparison to Europe, China, many other countries around the world. But for Australia, that is amazing. And it's nearly double the overall EV share from the calendar year 2022. Basically, So far this year, we're selling twice as many EVs as we did last year. Imagine if that continues to double for the next 5 years. How long will it take us to get to 100%? Well, we actually only need 4 years of doubling. After just over 4 years, we hit 100%. Isn't it crazy how that works? So Tesla actually decreased the price of the Tesla Model 3 in most countries around the world within the last month. However, here in Australia, they only decreased the price by $1,600 to $3,100. That's Australian dollars. So that's about $1,200 to $2,200 US dollars. Basically, very, very small reduction in price. I don't think that's the key reason for this incredible sales figure. I think the truth is Australians just want an EV that they think is compelling. And the Model 3 at the price it's for sale for was already compelling. It's still compelling. And Tesla, remember, they haven't increased their prices at all here in Australia, or very, very marginally. When you account for inflation, what that means is you can get a Tesla Model 3 for 64,000 Australian dollars. That's around about 45,000 US dollars. It's a very, very good price for the kind of car it is. If you think about this, the competition, who are they? Well, I want to share with you who they are and how many vehicles they're selling here in Australia. Unfortunately, it's extremely disappointing. Now, one key reason Tesla is winning is because they're simply making so many more electric cars than their competition. The Shanghai plant is ramping production once again. Apparently, Tesla now has put that plant into overdrive, which is really exciting to see. And as a result of all this new demand, the delivery timeframes now for Tesla's vehicles are increasing drastically. So if you want one, probably a good time to get one. The Model Y is more supply constrained, unfortunately. In January, there was only 386 deliveries because, well, we need a boat. Soon, please, come on Tesla. The crossover has a delivery window of April to June. Basically, if you order one now, you're not going to get it for probably 4 or 5 months at best here in Australia. However, the best-selling EVs in January in Australia, Tesla Model 3 with nearly 3,000, Tesla Model Y with 386. I think Tesla could probably sell 4,000 in a month easily, maybe even more than that, of the Model Y. The BYD Atto 3, surprisingly only 267. The Polestar 2, 164. Volvo C40, 127. BMW iX, 95. Kia EV6, 44. There you go. You see what I'm complaining about, right? 44 in a single month. I mean, all the marketing, only able to deliver to 44. Nissan Leaf, 39. The Audi e-tron GT, 33. Hyundai Ioniq 5, 30. Mercedes-Benz EQC, 23. As you can see, the Tesla Model 3 alone outsold every single model combined, put together, from every manufacturer in the world in Australia. Clearly, right now, people really do want Tesla vehicles here in Australia, but even more than that, I think they really do want electric cars. And unfortunately, Tesla seems to be the only manufacturer actually bringing in a large amount of them to our country. What is most interesting to me is who is going to step up to the plate next. Now, BYD are promising a lot. As you can see, not really delivering a lot. 267 vehicles in 1 month. It's nothing compared to what we expected. Can they increase their production? I don't know, because it's a right-hand drive vehicle. See, they can't just import vehicles straight from China because we're a right-hand drive market and they're made in left-hand drive in China. So it actually takes a lot more work to have a right-hand drive production line. The question is, how many vehicles can they actually get down that right-hand production line for Australia? I don't know yet, but I'm hoping they can increase production this year because I'm really excited to see us go from 6% to 12% to 24% to 48%. You can see how quickly that happens. It's amazing. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Who will be Tesla's biggest competitor over the next 12 months?